Why are the Hague Conventions important for IHL? Imagine a world where war is unpredictable and chaos reigns. Now picture a set of rules that tries to bring order and protect those caught in conflict. That's what the Hague Conventions aim to do. These treaties, adopted in 1899 and 1907, are some of the earliest efforts to set legal standards for warfare. They mark a key moment in the development of what we now call international humanitarian law. Back then, countries realized that war shouldn't be a free-for-all. They wanted to limit unnecessary suffering and protect civilians and cultural sites. The Hague Conventions introduced rules that said soldiers must tell civilians apart from combatants. They also banned weapons and tactics that cause needless pain. These rules were meant to make war more humane, even in the midst of conflict. These conventions also set limits on how wars are fought. For example, they established that attacking civilian populations or cultural landmarks is illegal. They introduced the idea that military actions should be proportional, meaning the harm caused should not be excessive compared to the military gain. These ideas helped shape the laws of armed conflict, which are still followed today. The importance of the Hague Conventions is clear because they laid the groundwork for later treaties. The Geneva Conventions of 1949 expanded protections for wounded soldiers, prisoners of war, and civilians. They built on the principles from the Hague treaties, making them more detailed and comprehensive. Together, these treaties form the foundation of modern international humanitarian law. The Hague Conventions also introduced the idea that parties to a conflict are responsible for following these rules. They created a legal framework that guides military conduct and holds violators accountable. This framework helps prevent wanton destruction and suffering during war. It also provides a basis for banning certain weapons, like landmines and cluster munitions, to reduce harm. In essence, the Hague Conventions are important because they set the first legal standards for humane conduct in war. They influenced later treaties and continue to shape how countries protect civilians and soldiers today. Their role in the origins and development of international humanitarian law makes them a cornerstone of efforts to make war less brutal.